in Houston at the 2017 Automation Fair event. The top companies in industrial automation are showing off their innovative products. I'm Teresa Hauk, Executive Editor of the Journal for Rockwell Automation and our partner network. One of those top companies is ASCO Numatics, and I'm talking with Jeff. So Jeff, tell us what you do for those who don't know.
Yeah, ASCO Numatics is a pneumatic valve actuator, pneumatic component supplier to anybody in industry who uses pneumatic components. So.
And I know you've got a lot of visitors here in your booth. They're pretty excited, but I know you're highlighting this. What are we looking at here?
Well, what we're looking at is our standard G3 electronics platform, but one of the things that we're highlighting here in this display is our valve and actuator monitoring. So what we're doing is we're taking a standard valve, a standard cylinder with limit switches on it, and we're measuring the extend and measuring the retract times. And within our web server, we've got a new tab, and we'll look at it in a little bit here. It's labeled IIoT Industry 4.0 because the whole idea is that eventually we'll take this prognostic, deterministic data and be able to either upload it onto the web via or cloud, should I say, or to a handheld device. Right now, the information that does come out of it gets uploaded into the PLC or can be uploaded into the PLC. So just a little bit further, so again, it's a valve and actuator monitoring. So if you look here at this actuator, again, standard actuator, we've got our valve manifold. This first valve happens to be driving this actuator, and then we've got two input switches, one on the extend and one on the retract, should I say. And so if you go over to our web server, and as I mentioned, Industry 4.0 IIoT, the valve actuator monitoring, I go ahead and select a valve. So I'm going to select the first valve, which is actually driving, again, this actuator. And then I can pick my inputs. First of all, I'm going to pick the module. These inputs are connected to this first input module here. So I'm going to put input module 1. And then, of course, the separate bits being bit 0 and bit 1. And so when I run this cylinder, and I'm just going to start it here with this input, we're reading, again, the extend and retract times. So the user has the ability to go in, and if they know what their extend times are or their retract times, they can add them. If they don't, and it's typical in a pneumatic circuit that somebody would set this up. We have speed controls here that adjust both the extend and retract speed of the cylinder. So once they've got that adjusted, they could come back into our system, select this tab here, which is update target times for measured times. So it will read those times, and then it will put them into your target time. So those are the times that you want to meet based on your system, based on the adjustment of the speed controls. I can then unselect it, and now I've got my target retract time, target extend time, and then again my measured times. Now, the other key feature, again, is the percentage. So if I've got an actuator here, and this one isn't, I don't even know how much time it's taking, but let's say it's a 3-second extend and a 3-second retract time. If my application requires it to be within, say, 2%, 5% of that time, I can then load that percentage in our system, and it will monitor for that. So now, again, I'm getting back to the diagnostic or prognostic information. As a cylinder ages over time, let's say in an automotive plant, and it's running for several years, there is the probability that it will slow down, either seal leakage around the rod, or maybe there's some damage to the rod and so forth. We will measure that, as mentioned. And if it falls outside of that tolerance, we will flag and send a diagnostic to the PLC. So again, if you have an application that has, let's say, 10 cylinders, pneumatic cylinders, you may not want to monitor every one, but there might be 2-3 cylinders that are very crucial from a timing standpoint. And I would want to know, or again, you would want to know when those start to degrade. And so we can do that with this system. And as a maintenance person, I may not be able to replace it that day, but at least I can start to schedule maintenance to replace that cylinder and so forth. So again, it's a valve and actuator diagnostic system, and again, it's meant to produce prognostic type data, so I have the ability to replace something before it fails.
That is so valuable, and that the screen there is so user friendly that it really helps to make the job go faster.
It does, and this is, come on over here. This is our standard web server. So there's a lot of information that we've always had in there, diagnostic information for everything that's connected to our G3 node and so forth. But again, the industry 4.0 IIoT tab is new, and again, we have named it that because the intention is that, again, we will make this diagnostic information as well as other diagnostic information available to the user either through a handheld device or up into the cloud. But again, you do make a good point there. Everything that you can set up or configure is done in our system, so there's nothing needed to be done in the PLC setup or anything like that. Again, we do make that diagnostic data available to the PLC. So.
Well, that's really powerful, and there's so much more to learn. And plus, ASCO Numatics is a Rockwell Automation and Compass partner, which means all of their products are compatible with Rockwell products. So go to the URL you see on the screen and learn more about how they can help you. I'm Teresa Hauk at Automation Fair 2017. See you next time.